Hello? As a Boy Scout, I remember vividly the first time realizing that I would no longer be with the boys. I was sitting against my backpack on a tarp in the middle of nowhere while on a rafting trip. 8 years at this point had never felt so short. I knew that the friendship we had made would remain, but that we had officially grown up, in a sense. Hi, my name's Cameron, and today I'll be talking about group development. After taking a semester long course of small group communication, I have gained a vast amount of knowledge on group development and, of course, another variety of topics through online seminars and class seminars and chapter readings. The three main points that I'll be focusing on today are the stages of group development, group motivation, and group norms. So, going into the first point, the first stage of group development is called forming. This is where members tend to be more cautious and more polite towards each other. They're getting acquainted and they're learning the nature of their tasks. There's a sense of social unease, and this is called primary tension. And how to lessen this tension is by introducing oneself or helping to create a supportive, emotional, communicative environment and listening to each other intently. The second stage is storming, and this is where group status and roles are being competed for by the group members. When competing, there is a sense of frustration and there is conflicts with personality. This is called secondary tension. And this is important because it helps group members begin to understand how to work past social tensions. The third stage is norming, and this is when all social tensions or most have been resolved. The group members are now working towards a common goal and they're working as a unified body. They are more comfortable to disagree or to agree with one another or to express their opinion. Going into the fourth stage, which is called performing, this is where group members are now fully performing and they are achieving a common goal. This creates a sense of feeling important in the group. The last stage, which is the stage that I experienced as a Boy Scout on that day where I was sitting in a tarp in the middle of nowhere while on a rafting trip, is called adjourning. This is where group members disband. There's a sense of mourning, and the reason why is because group members feel sad about having to no longer work together. There's no more jobs to do, there's no more common goal. It has ended, and there's nothing else to do now. However, a way to work past this mourning is to acknowledge the group's achievements, to celebrate it, to acknowledge group members' contributions, and to sustain friendships even past the group. Moving on to my second point, group norms. Norms are a set of behaviors and rules that are expected, and there's the line between acceptable and unacceptable. There's two types of norms, explicit and implicit. Explicit norms are verbally stated or written down, and all members are communicated about these. Implicit norms are norms that aren't necessarily said out loud or they're not necessarily stated. They're not publicly talked about much. And this type of norm or these type of norms are also as expected as explicit norms. An example of explicit norm is as a shift manager at Wendy's. As when I first was hired on, I had to sit down and read the employee handbook, and after I finished reading the employee handbook, I signed off saying that I understood what Wendy's expected of me. That is explicitly being told what I am doing there as a worker. An example of implicit is sitting at a lunch table with friends in middle school and always sitting in the same spot, because if you don't sit in the same spot and you sit in someone else's spot, it feels like there's a sense of rawness in the air, and social anarchy occurs. No, I'm just kidding. When it comes to norms, there are four categories. There is interaction, procedural, status, and achievement. With the interaction norm, there specifies how group members will talk and interact with one another. With procedural norms, this is how group members will work towards a common goal or work together and what procedures they will use. With status norms, this helps to specify how group members can achieve or earn a specific role or status within the group. And the last one is the achievement norm, which is where members figure out how they're going to achieve or how they're going to work to achieve a goal. Part of the group norms in the textbook, it talks about nonconformity. Nonconformity is when group members willingly don't conform to a group's social standards or roles or norms. And there's two types of nonconformity: constructive and destructive. Constructive nonconformity is where group members or a group member willingly goes against the group's norms and roles in order to bring light to something that might be hindering the group from accomplishing its common goal. Destructive nonconformity is when a group member or group members go against the group's best interests and are more selfish than not. Moving on from norms to motivation, my third and final point. Motivation is the inspiration or / an incentive for the group to work towards a common goal. And there's two types of motivation: extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic is external motivation, which could be from a coach, a teacher, friends or family, or perhaps a boss. And intrinsic motivation is from within or internal. This is the sense of pride when doing something or when doing good work, or the sense of accomplishment after finishing a challenging task or goal. And there are four types of motivators when it comes to motivation: the sense of meaningfulness, a sense of choice, a sense of competence, and a sense of progress. With a sense of meaningfulness, group members feel as if they belong in the group. They have a purpose to be in the group, that they aren't just in a group to be in a group. They are in a group to work towards something, to accomplish something. And a sense of choice is where group members feel as if they have the ability to sit down, to communicate, and to make decisions on what they need to do to work towards the common goal or how to resolve conflicts. A sense of competence is feeling as if they're capable to do something. They're able to go through with what they put their mind to. And a sense of progress, this is where they feel as if what they're doing has made an impact. It's not just doing something to do something. And so with the 5 stages of group development, group norms, and group motivation, that concludes my speech today. My name is Karen Palmer, and thank you for listening. I once was a 17-year-old boy sitting on a tarp in the middle of nowhere while on a rafting trip. It was really hot, and I hope that one day when you have to leave a group, or if you already have left a group, that you will be able to remember fondly. Thank you.